Welcome, fellow astronauts, to the return of the Zombie Astronaut. I am the Zombie Astronaut. As you may recall, our last episode, we were starting the 5 Twilight Zone episodes that the Twilight Zone 85 remade. Truly classic episode, partially because the original featured Jack Klugman and Jonathan Winters. Watch the remake of A Game of Pool.
All right, folks, closing time.
Oh, look at this shot. You'll never sink this in a million years. Guy thinks he's the next Fats Brown. Come on, let's get out of here.
Hey, Joe, how come he gets to stay?
Because he asks nice. Now get going.
I'm off to Mulvaney's. Anybody for a beer?
You see what I mean? You see what I mean?
An impossible shot, but I made it. The right stuff, the right draw, perfect position. And what do I get? Fats Brown, Fats Brown. Well, I'm sick of it, Fats Brown. I'm the best pool cue on Randolph Street. Me, Jesse Cardiff, and everybody knows it. Fats was good. So he was good. But he's dead. Do you hear me? He's dead. He's been dead for 15 years, but every time I turn around, I hear about him. That was pretty good, Jesse, but Fats was better. Fats was the best, Jesse. Fats Brown is dead. If he was alive in this room, I could beat him. You'd see, I'd give anything to play him one game. I'd show you who's best. One game. One lousy game.
At your service.
Jesse Cardiff, pool shark, the best on Randolph Street, who will soon learn that trying to be the best at anything carries its own special risk, in or out of the Twilight Zone.
You called?
But you're
Dead? Not really. As long as people talk about you, you don't really die. As long as people speak your name, you continue. The legend doesn't die because the man does.
This is impossible.
Nothing's impossible. Just some things are less likely than others, that's all.
This isn't a rib. You're him. You're
James Howard Brown. See, my friends call me Fats. Now, I know it's a shock, but you called me. I didn't call you.
I didn't mean that it...
It's just a lot of talk.
I was only...
You like to play with fire, but you don't like to cook. Is that it? You know that you're not as good as you claim to be. You know deep down inside that you're second rate.
Hey, hold on.
Strictly second rate. What, are you afraid? Look, I come a long way. I don't like to be fooled with. I meet guys like you all the time. A little knack, a little skill, a little style. But when the heat's on, you choke. Excuse me.
You've never seen me play. How you know I can't beat you? It is possible, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's possible. But you ain't gonna do it with your mouth.
All right, fat boy, dead or alive. I'll tell you something. You may be some tin god, but I think you're just a big balloon waiting for somebody to put a needle in you. Well, I'm that somebody. And this is a needle.
So you play me then?
Rack 'em.
Steaks?
Steaks?
Yeah, there's something to make the game a little more interesting.
And you're all of it. Hey.
Use your brains, kid. What good is that to me?
And what?
Something to make my long journey worthwhile.
Name it.
You said that you'd give anything to play with me. Anything?
What are you talking about, pal? Just what kind of stakes are you talking about?
Life or death.
What?
You beat me, you live. You lose, you die. It's interesting. It's interesting to see how much faith you have in yourself. You don't want to be the best bad enough, kid. When I was your age, I'd have jumped at the chance. But then again, I wasn't second rate.
Hey, hold on. You say I don't want to be the best bad enough? You're wrong. Do you know how many nights I slept on this table? Yeah, I did that. I made a deal with the owner. That way I could practice after the place closed. I haven't seen a movie in years. I haven't read a book. I haven't dated a girl because it would take too much time from this table.
That's a lot of talk. You'll never know till you risk everything.
Stop pushing! Wait! Don't go.
Then you accept the terms. Life or death.
Rack the balls.
I had this specially made for me in St. Louis. Rock maple, ebony. Cost me $600. I've been making a living from it for about 25 years.
What's the name of the game? 9-ball? 8-ball?
Rotation.
Get out of here. Nobody plays that.
I do. What's mine? Not up to it?
I'm up to it. I know the rules. 300 points. Toss for the break?
Sure.
Call it.
Tails. Change your mind? You can, you know. Heads. My break. Two balls on the rail. A perfect break. No advantage given. Now it's your turn to scatter the balls.
Do something with that.
Looks like you're sewed up. It'll cost you if you don't connect with the one ball.
Bank. Two rails, 2-ball corner pocket. Did you see that, fat boy? Funny. No man can rise to the occasion when his life is at stake. 2-ball, 2 points.
Not bad.
It was great! You're like all the others. You keep trying to bring me down. When I was a kid, there were plenty of guys like you. Guys that were good at things. Like music, basketball, arithmetic. They'd do everything they could to make me feel this high.
But you fooled them, didn't you?
Right. I knew that somewhere there was something I could be good at. I had the eye for it.
What happened to it?
If you don't hit the 5 ball, you scratch. And that'll cost you points.
Your shot.
I have 59 points. You have 7.
Game's young yet, my friend. Very young. Shoot. Rack them, please. $15 ball in that pocket, and a perfect break at the same time. One. And 2. 3. 4.
You need every ball on the table to win. I only need one of them.
You know, Jesse, there's more to life than this pool hall. I mean, it's not right for you to keep yourself cooped up here like this. I mean, you ought to get out a little more, see what's going on outside.
You didn't become the best by sitting on a park bench. You spent plenty of time with the cue in your hands.
Yeah, of course I did, but I still had a life. I mean, I've been to places where they never even heard of pool. I know. I don't look the part, but I've made love. I've watched sunsets. I've swam in the ocean. And when I think of all the beautiful things that there are to do in this world, it hurts me to see you rotting away. Because that's what you're doing. You're rotting in this dark room.
You're lying. You're trying to distract me. That's low. You make me miss!
A little gamesmanship, a little pressure, and you come apart. That's kid stuff. To break your concentration, you go wild.
That's it. The game ball. All my life, I've waited for this moment. Sink it, and I beat you. I become the greatest.
If you sink it.
You're sweating. Why are you nervous?
For reasons you probably wouldn't understand.
Oh, I understand. It means a lot, doesn't it? Even to a dead man. To have your name up there as the unbeatable champion of all time.
Well, it carries a certain satisfaction, yes.
I'll give you a shot at my crown, Jesse. But only if you're willing to stake your life on the game. Couldn't be just a friendly game, could it?
Well, I take him as I get him. It's not just a friendly game to you. It's a life or death thing, so I acted accordingly. You see, the champions and the legends serve a purpose. They're an incentive, they're a challenge.
I don't need no challenge.
Everybody needs a challenge. The great musicians, they're better. They're better because of Bach, they're better because of Beethoven, Mozart. See, I'm just a pool player. But I'm the best.
You were the best. Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with. You said life or death.
No, you really didn't expect me to kill you, no, did you?
You said if I'd won, I'd live. If I'd lost, I'd die.
And you will. As all second-raters die. You'll be buried and forgotten without me touching you. See, if you'd have beaten me, if you'd have beaten me, you would have lived forever.
You tricked me.
No. No, you just have to be tested under pressure, that's all. Any man can be a marksman if the target doesn't shoot back.
Wait! It's not over! I haven't given up. I'll practice. Night and day. I'm still alive. I can be better. I will be better. From me again, Fats Brown.
Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime. And departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time, on the earth as we know it, and in the Twilight Zone.
And I'll bet you never thought we'd get here. This is the fifth and final Twilight Zone 85 remake of a Twilight Zone episode. And this one is pretty good, and it's has a lot to do with the fact that Helen Mirren is in it. I Want to Marry Her. It also features Teresa Saldana and Jeffrey Tambor. This is the remake of Dead Man's Shoes called Dead Woman's Shoes.
What are we going to do with you?
Thought that stuff already went to the thrift shop.
Oh, these are a few more of Mrs. Montgomery's things. I forgot to give them.
Very painful for me to have Susan's belongings around here. I still haven't gotten over her accident.
I understand. I'll see these get to the thrift shop right away.
Make sure you get a receipt.
Hey, come on, lady. Out of my way. What's the matter?
I'm sorry. It's okay. Oh, do you mind?
Make way. Come on, give me some room.
Get heads up! Watch it, lady!
I ordered a root beer, not an orange.
But I get small mushroom pizza, so I have no idea.
That's not wow. I'm sorry I'm late, Arlene. My bus was late.
I never even noticed. There's some new boxes in the back room need to be unpacked.
Sure.
Wait on those two over there first, will you?
Yeah, it's just what I've always wanted. Oh, no, no, in mine.
Could I could I help you with something? You could try the dress on if you want.
Maybe you should try it on. Yeah, maybe it'd brighten up your love life.
You were looking at me, weren't you?
Well, no. I was just wondering, can I help you with something?
Yeah. I think I want to buy something. I think I'd like to buy you something.
Oh, no. That's okay. I don't need anything.
Oh, come on. Pretty woman like you. You must need something.
No, really. Well, would you excuse me for a minute? I just have to go in the back.
You out here.
Buzz off, creep.
Eddie, where are you going? Eddie, what's wrong? You come back here. Eddie!
It's $18.20.
Keep the change.
Hey, what are you doing? I don't want your purse. Hey!
Yes? Oh, Fritz, did you miss me? Did you miss your mama? Your mama's all right.
Hey, lady.
What are you staring at, Inez? Oh, I know, this dress. Isn't it the worst? I'm going to take a shower, and then I want you to burn it.
No, wait.
Why? What is it? What's wrong?
Are you a friend of Mr. Montgomery's?
Oh, that's very good, Inez. That's very good. I like the way you put that.
Stop.
Whoever you are, you can't just come in here and pretend you own this place. I would have to get Mr. Montgomery's permission before I could allow you to stay. And he didn't say anything about having guests.
Now, what's wrong, Inez? Has Carlito been running around on you again? Why don't you dump him? I mean, you could take all that money you've been saving from those holiday bonuses Mr. Montgomery's been giving you and start over. Now, don't worry. I won't tell anyone about the bonuses. Your secret's still safe with me.
Okay, I'm going to take a shower.
I want to be nice and fresh for when Carl gets home.
Cab driver gave me your purse. He took $20 out for the fare. This is your purse, isn't it? Your name is Maddie Duncan? Where am I? What am I doing here? Don't you remember? What's wrong with you? Well, I was at work, and I was in the storeroom, and now I'm here. How did you know about my account? Nobody knew about that except Mrs. Susan. How did you know? Were you a friend of Mrs. Susan? Mrs. Susan who? Susan Montgomery. Who do you think? I don't know any Susan Montgomery. Look, if you don't mind, could I just go back to the thrift store now? Are you sick? Crazy? You come in here. Talk about things you don't know. Act like you belong here somehow. Well, I'll tell you something. You don't belong here. You better get your clothes on and get out of here right now before I call the police. What did you do with your shoes? I don't know. Where did you get these? These are Mrs. Montgomery's shoes. Oh, I didn't steal them, honest. Someone gave them to the thrift store. Put them on and get out. Now, I thought I told you to burn this.
I told her I didn't want to be disturbed.
Yes, I know, but there's this woman on the line. She wants to speak to you, and she says she can't wait.
What woman?
Well, she says she's your wife.
That's not funny, Lori.
I know, but that's what she said. I would have hung up on her, but she acted like she knew me, too. She even asked me about my boyfriend by name. I think you better talk to her.
All right. This is Kyle Montgomery.
You don't know how good it is to hear your voice again, Kyle.
Who is this?
Well, don't you recognize my voice?
No.
Shame on you. It hasn't been that long, has it? Well, it's me. Susan.
Susan who?
Susan, your lovely wife.
My wife is dead. She died in an accident a little over a month ago.
So you say.
Look. Whoever you are, this is an extremely twisted and perverse little joke you're trying to pull, and I don't appreciate it, not one bit. I want you to know this legally qualifies as harassment.
Oh.
Threats? Am I hearing threats?
Tell me something, Kyle. How can you make threats to somebody you've already killed?
Where are you?
Well, I'm at home. Where else would I be?
I'm getting ready to fix a Manhattan. It's your favorite drink.
You always liked the way I fix them. I guess that was the only thing you liked about me toward the end there. Kyle?
Kyle, where'd you go? Are you coming home?
darling? You'd better get down, Fritz. You know Kyle doesn't like you sitting on the furniture.
What do you want?
I'm the Wicked Witch of the East. Maybe you'd better drop a house on me next time. Perhaps it will be more permanent.
Look, I don't know who you are or what you're talking about. You don't belong in this house.
Oh, well, would you like me to fix you one?
Who are you? Tell me who you are!
Oh, now that's the Kyle that I know and love. And that's the Kyle I know all too well.
Those shoes. Where did you get them?
Don't be silly, darling. You bought them for me. I was wearing them the night that you pushed me off that balcony.
My wife fell from the balcony. She was dancing on the concrete railing. She had too much to drink.
And I suppose the police bought that story, didn't they? But you see, I'm not the police. I'm someone with a little more intimate knowledge of what happened that night.
You're clever. You're very clever. Where were you that night? I don't remember seeing you at the party.
Are you kidding? I was a star attraction.
My wife is dead. She fell from the balcony. She broke her neck.
What's wrong, Kyle? Not feeling too well? You have to feel better than I did that night when I felt your hands shoving me off that railing. Can you imagine how terrified I was? Falling backwards like that. I didn't think I'd ever hit the ground. All I could see was the sky and the stars. And then when I did hit... No! Over here, darling. It's Judgment Day. The jury's turned in its verdict. Guilty as charged. La policia. Yes, the police. Hurry. Shoes!
And you'd never seen this woman before?
Never.
A woman shows up, pretending to be your wife, calls you at work, gets you to come home, and then starts taking shots at you. For no reason.
What can I say? There's a lot of crazies out there. Maybe she knew Susan. I don't know.
Well, we have her description. I'll get this circulated right away. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky.
Lieutenant? My clients, all important people in this town, are very picky about whom they do business with. If word about this should get out, they might have second thoughts about me representing them.
Your career is more important to you than your life? Is that what you're saying?
Since my wife died, Lieutenant, my career is my life. I'd just prefer to forget the whole thing. I'll hire some security to watch the house for a couple of weeks. In case this nutcase comes back again.
Now, you and your wife were happily married, Mr. Montgomery?
I miss her a great deal.
Well, we'll keep it under our hat. If things should come up, I'll call you, personally.
Thanks. I appreciate that. She didn't give you any other name?
No.
You have no idea who she was?
No idea.
You know, I think I'll move out to the beach. I'll stay there for a while. Shut up this house. Won't be needing your services anymore. I'll give you a month's severance pay, of course. But I want you out today.
I was going to give notice anyway.
Take Fritz with you. What is it?
Do you believe in ghosts, Mr. Kyle?
Get out.
As we walk through life, if we learn nothing else, we learn the only sure things are death and taxes. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad. And haven't we all said you can't take it with you? Another comforting adage without exceptions in the real world that somehow goes all wonky when considering exit lines delivered in the Twilight Zone.
Oh, Helen. Well, I can't just leave you with 2 episodes, so we're going to throw a third in here. Now, this one is possibly my favorite of Twilight Zone 85. It's very Lovecraftian in nature. It also features William Peterson and Frances McDormand. William Peterson plays a government scientist sent to a small town to investigate a bizarre outbreak of madness. Watch my favorite Twilight Zone 85 episode, Need to Know.
Often, the most perplexing mysteries have the simplest solutions. The most complex questions, the simplest answers. Sometimes we seek long and hard, only to find the solutions and answers lie right before us. In a reference book under T for the Twilight Zone.
Wiley Whitlow, where the devil did you come from?
My farm. Walk.
You walked all this way from your place?
Anything to get out of that house. I got a daughter getting married in 2 weeks.
I know what you mean. Got 2 daughters of my own. Tell you what, you give me a hand getting this tire on where it belongs, and I'll give you a lift back.
Don't need no lift back.
It's got to be 5 or 6 miles, even cutting across the fields like you did.
Mr. Henrys, would you mind coming over here a minute?
Yeah, Wiley?
Over here.
Are you from Washington?
Hi. Edward Sayers.
Where are the others?
What others?
When I called Senator Westphalen and explained the urgency of the situation, I thought for sure he'd send a team.
I'm
or some-
afraid I'm the team.
Doesn't he understand what's going on
Look,
here?
this lab kit may look like it only weighs 60 pounds, but it actually weighs closer to 80. Do you think we could go wherever it is we're going so that I could set it down?
Sorry. Come on.
Thanks. As I understand it, the first few cases weren't that unusual. The, town derelict and some of his cronies?
Then it started spreading. First it was the farmers, then a couple people who worked at the bank, then the mayor. It's over 25 people now.
And there's no working profile? All age groups, all races, all income brackets? They just suddenly started going...
Crazy. Insane. This morning it was my father.
This is Mr. Strickland?
Uh-huh.
Her father?
Yeah.
Thanks. Hello, Mr. Strickland. My name's Edward Sayers.
Hello, Sayers. I'd like to ask you to sit down, but as you see, my house is being redone.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Ask anything you want. I'm no gossip. That's what made me a big man in this town.
I met your daughter. She's very nice.
Daughter? I don't have any daughters. I got sons. 9 of them. All big, strapping farmers, just like their old man. Daughter.
Mr. Strickland, what happened this morning? Do you remember?
Yes. Yes, I remember. The milk on my cereal was sour. I had to speak to my wife about it.
Where is your wife?
She's dead. She's been dead about 5 years now.
But you spoke to her this morning about the sour milk.
Well, wouldn't you?
Then what happened?
I went out to get the paper. Damn delivery boy threw it right over the house. Never could find it. and then old Mrs. Hotchkiss stopped by.
Mrs. Hotchkiss's husband used to run the used car lot. About 2 days ago, she came home from the market, found him trying to walk across her clothesline. 72 years old. You don't mind this, do you?
No, not at all.
It's the only station we've got around here.
Do you have any brothers?
No, no sisters either. I'm an only child. Why?
I'm so glad you and your friend could stop by, Amanda. It's been so quiet out here these past couple of days.
And how is your husband, Mrs. Hotchkiss?
I didn't get by the hospital to see him today, but I saw him yesterday. We talked a little. Not much, though.
I saw Amanda's father, Mr. Strickland, earlier today, and he mentioned that you stopped by to see him this morning.
Lemon?
No.
Just a neighborly visit. I went by to ask him about planting marigolds. He has such a green thumb. When I saw him, he seemed perfectly all right to me. There was a woman once whose husband was in a coma. One night, she prayed that if he would come out of it, she would give up a year of her own life. The next morning, he awakened from the coma to find her dead. I guess the moral there is, don't make any deals and don't ask any questions.
Get something to tie your wrists, Amanda. A towel or something.
Sorry. We found some sandwiches in a vending machine.
Great.
Careful, they're hot. I nuked them in a microwave.
Thanks.
You find anything?
Nothing. In the air or the water. All toxic contents are well below the EPA accepted safe levels.
So it's nothing people breathed or drank.
Doesn't look like it.
No. I've been thinking. Maybe it's a disease. A very contagious disease.
Amanda.
No, it fits. I've been tracing it back. It's like some weird chain letter. Jesse Fielding went insane right after he talked to Sarah Moss. Sarah right after she talked to the mayor, and the mayor had just been to the bank to see Jack Henry's. My dad came down with it after Mrs. Hotchkiss came over, and she had just been to the hospital to see her husband the day before.
A disease. A contagious disease that makes people crazy.
Sweetest rose in Texas and Oklahoma too. She came from red and white. She cried so Sweetest little lily that ever bloomed in May. Sprouts little green things that grow in night and day.
Here are the results of each patient's initial physical examination. As you'll see, Dr. Benitez found nothing somatically wrong with any of them. Nothing to indicate any exposure to a contagious disease.
Yeah.
It is extremely important that I talk to Dr. Carroll right away. Yes, please, the minute he checks in. You have the number. Thank you. He'll call back. He's the head of my department in Washington. He can authorize a full military quarantine of the whole town, maybe even this whole section of state. How you doing?
Well, using the information we got from the hospital, I've been able to trace back the various lines of who came into contact with whom as far back as I could. Some of the lines dead end. One or two of them come back to the same point of origin, same person. Maybe he's the original source of the virus or whatever it is.
Andrew Potts?
Yeah, local crackpot, 45, 50, lived in Loma Valley all his life. Does odd jobs around. Did odd jobs.
Did?
He's been locked up in the hospital for a couple months now. You know who we should talk to? His brother. They lived together in their folks' place out at the end of Woods Road. He was a college professor, my college professor, as a matter of fact. He taught Far Eastern Studies.
This brother, he hasn't been admitted to the hospital?
No, he hasn't.
How do I get to this Woods Road?
A couple of miles west on the highway. Hey, what about me?
You have to stay here in case my boss calls back.
And what if this Mr. Potts is like the others? Like Mrs. Hotchkiss?
Then I'll set a new land speed record getting held back here. Trust me, I'm no hero. Hello?
And that was the Tommy Lee Walker Band with their latest out of Nashville, Yellow Hair and Big Blue Eyes. And this is Wild Bill Oakes coming to you from KFEJ Radio 660. National Weather Bureau reports clear skies and warm temperatures today with lows tonight in the high 50s. And now back to music on the Valley's own radio station, KFEJ.
I am Jeffrey Potts.
How do you do? My name's Sayers, Edward Sayers.
Do you like my house, Mr. Sayers?
Well, yes. Yes, I do. Very much. How long have you been working on it?
Oh, 2-3 months now. Ever since I got back.
Back from where?
The Orient. I went to study. I think I was going to write a book. I don't recall exactly, but then I found out, and it really didn't matter anymore.
Found out what?
The meaning, Mr. Sayers, the meaning.
The meaning of what?
Everything. Man's purpose and destiny. Life after death. God. Devil. Existence, everything. And it is so simple. It is all so very simple. You want to know?
Who have you told?
Only my brother.
It was supposed to be a secret. But knowing my brother, it probably isn't anymore. Are you sure you wouldn't like to know what it is?
No.
Well, you'll be the only one left in town who doesn't. As I have decided, it's time for me to share this wonderful secret with all my neighbors.
How?
Well, old Har Faraday down at the radio station is always happy to let a neighbor have a little airtime to say hello to everybody in town.
Remind you all that their new summer festival is going on out at the Apache Reservation all through the month of June. Advance tickets are available through the county agent's office. Prices are adults $12, teens $8, and children under 12 are free. All proceeds this year go to the Apache Reservation School, where they hope to establish downtown Loma Valley. And a good friend and neighbor to all of us has just stopped by the studio to say howdy to y'all. Well, he'll be talking to us right after this. We're back now, and as I mentioned, a neighbor and friend of all of ours stopped by today, Professor Jeffrey Butts. How are you doing today, Professor?
Well, just fine.
Haven't seen you around town much.
Well, I've been busy doing some work around my house, but I wanted to stop by today to tell all your listeners something.
Okay, shoot.
Well, I thought your listeners would be interested in knowing what the meaning of life is.
Well, I know I've always wanted to know the meaning of life. Sure, Professor, go ahead. Tell us all what the meaning of life is.
Come closer, everybody.
Shut off the radio!
Come closer to your radios.
Turn it off!
Well, everybody,
Shut
the
it
meaning
off!
of life is...
Oh, thank God.
What's wrong?
I'll explain later. Come on, we gotta get away from here.
But Edward,
Amanda, there isn't time.
Edward, you're being rude.
Man is a questioning creature, constantly striving for answers. But there is some knowledge for which he is not yet ready. Secrets that once learned overwhelm him. Secrets that for now are best left undisturbed. In the Twilight Zone.
And that takes care of another episode of The Return of the Zombie Astronaut. I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.